And there it is.
We're live!
You're on the YouTubes.
What's up, YouTube?
Wow.
I was just electrocuted.
There's some stuff happening over there.
He was in a bathtub and someone dropped a toaster in there.
Oh wait, I didn't bring up Audacity. Are you guys recording?
As you can see, I am in the bathroom.
Hey,
I'm not
you know,
recording.
we record in closets, we record in bathrooms. We're not.
Are you guys already recording? Should I just
No,
start?
no, we're
Oh,
not.
okay.
We are not. Just YouTube. So we're about ready to give away Uncharted 4 YouTube.
Whoop, whoop.
So if you listen to this, then you will know shortly. So here we go. All right.
Oh, yes? Wait.
Knowing is half the battle.
All right.
3, 2,
Yep.
1. Welcome, Internet, to episode number 65 of the South Dakota Gamer Podcast. It is your local South Dakota podcast about gaming. It is the May the 9th, 2016, and we're about ready to give away a copy of Uncharted 4 for the PlayStation 4 gaming console. Joining me this week, as always, Joshua Owens from Chi-Town. He has a horn with him.
Uh-huh.
And also, finally back, making his triumphant return from a bathroom in some state in the United States, David Mann.
Yes, I'm back, and I have toilet paper.
Are you sitting on the toilet? Is that your seat?
No.
Oh.
I brought in a comfortable chair that I can rock in and roll around in, even though I
there
don't
you
do
go.
that. And I am also sick, so if I cough at all, we're going to try to edit all of those out because it is very loud. You know,
What state are you in right now?
I'm in North Dakota.
Hey, the lesser of the two Dakotas.
I am right now in
South
Fargo.
Dakota's dumb cousin to the north.
I'm in Fargo, don't you know?
Yeah,
Fargo!
That's a big town up there, yeah?
Yeah, Fargo.
All those Norwegians, that's where that accent comes from, is Norwegian.
This is also where I saw that Marvel movie.
Oh, I heard about that one. It's a real good one, yeah?
Yeah.
Real good Marvel.
Those,
Team Iron Man. Yeah.
those Marvel folks, they've put out a few.
Yeah, a few good ones, don't you know? Now we're Bobby's mother.
Yeah. People have stopped listening already.
We're just
Yeah.
soccer moms now.
Turn it off. Just stop. Okay, so here we are. We're going to get down to the good stuff right away, listeners.
Man, I'm
We're
excited about this.
We're going to give away Uncharted 4, A Thief's End for the PlayStation 4. We asked you to go ahead and give us a rating on iTunes, any number of stars, and then the number of words. And then we asked you to take a screenshot. It's real simple. Take a screenshot of that said review and go ahead and post that on your Facebook page and tag the South Dakota Gamer Facebook page in that post so we could see it. And that would get you an entry into this contest. And then, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you got an additional entry into this contest.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been doing it, I believe it's about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we are right now come to the time to give away that game to one of you fine folks. So
Mm-hmm.
Josh has assembled the list of names for the people that have qualified for this contest.
Yep.
And I'm about to pick a number, correct?
Yep.
So I'm going to pick a number.
Wait.
Oh, what?
I know what we should do.
Uh-oh. This is unscripted.
We should all three pick a number, then divide it by 3. No, we all three pick a number, add it together, then we divide that number by 3. And then we add whatever number we need to make it mine.
Ah, I knew there was a point to this. And that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pick a number.
I thought we should. I was trying to get us all involved.
No,
I don't
yeah,
get to do
totally. I mean that was a good point. That was involvement for you. I liked it. Okay, here's the number. The number I am choosing is the number
Wait.
12.
What if Chad picks a number, then Josh picks a number, then I pick a number between those two numbers?
So the number's 12, guys.
My head hurts so bad. All right, Chad picks the number 12.
Yeah, number 12.
The number 12 is, drum roll please, goes by the name of 2%
Uh-oh.
on the old
Okay.
iTunes. We
It
know
has
who
to
that
be a
is.
steal. It has to be a steal.
The odds were favorable for them.
Good old Mr. Jordan Steele, who got his entry in right under the wire.
Right at the buzzer.
Yeah.
That.
So congratulations, sir. So he's probably going to listen to this, and we're probably going to post his name tomorrow.
Yes.
When we or probably before we post this podcast. But Jordan, if you listen to this or if you see your name on the page tomorrow at some point, shoot us your address and a message to the page so we can ship this thing out to you. Because Chad's got it in hand.
You want to see it? You want to see it? Here it is.
There it is.
Clear.
It's so pretty.
Uncharted 4, still in the plastic, ready to go to your house, Jordan. We just need your address. So direct message us your address on the Facebooks, and as soon as I get this, I will put it in the mail. So if you can get it to me early, it'll be in the mail tomorrow for you. Hopefully a physical copy is good enough for you, because that's what I got.
It's still in the plastic. It's got that new video game smell.
Yeah, for real.
Still. Yeah.
Well, cool. Congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
We are excited to have our first giveaway. I believe
I'm pretty jealous.
we will continue to do things like this.
Yeah, we will.
We may mix it up in how you enter going forward, and maybe come up with some new and inventive ideas. But obviously, we want as many people as possible to hear about our podcast, so that we can have as many people as possible listen. I mean, that's the goal. So
yeah. Hey, do you guys know why we're going to keep doing stuff like that?
tell me, please.
Because of a little website called Patreon.com.
The Patreons.
Yeah, that's what allows us to do that. So if you're unfamiliar, Patreon.com is a virtual tipping and rewards website. And that's where, if you think we're doing an okay job, you like what we're doing, you toss us a few bucks in the form of virtual tips and rewards. And then virtual tips, and then we give you the rewards. That's where the rewards come in. So this is how that works. If you have a few dollars that you found, maybe your kids swallowed them, and they traveled through, and then they made it out the other side. And because they can't stay in there, kids get sick if they eat money, and then it just stays in there. So they gotta get it out. But you don't want to do anything with that dollar. That's a gross dollar.
Uh-huh.
So what you could do is you could send that to us virtually, and then we'll turn that into podcast hosting and cool giveaways. And in return, here's what we'd like to do for you. If you want to shoot us $1 a month, $1 a month. Guys, that's $12 a year, right? That's going to get you a shout-out on the show and extra entries or other perks when we do like giveaways, or if when we do this special thing that we're going to do for the Patreon subscribers that's coming up real soon, that's going to get you access to that stuff for just $1 a month. All right? And then if you want to do $5 a month, you're going to get a shout-out on the show, access to all that stuff, plus a little promo or commercial for whatever you want to promote on the show. And then we've got a $10 tier that guarantees a 1-hour gaming session with the host or hosts of your choice each week, plus all the stuff from the other two tiers, plus access to exclusive content or extra entries and giveaways, things like that. So you should totally check that out. Patreon.com/South Dakota Gamer. There's a little bit of information about us and on the tiers and stuff like that. Check it out, guys. We're on Facebook, so you should go to facebook.com/South Dakota Gamer and give us a like there. Check out our t-shirts. We're on SouthDakotaGamer.com/apparel is our t-shirts, or just the website in general. If you just want to poke around, see what we're up to, we got some stuff there. But we've got a few people we need to shout out right this very second, and one of those is Mr. Evan Steele, our very first Patreon subscriber, supporter.
Hi,
great guy. I saw he was online playing the Uncharted 4 tonight.
Yeah, buddy.
Right before I hopped on here, I was playing a little Borderlands, and I saw Evan was on there playing Uncharted 4. So hope he's enjoying it. Thanks, Evan, for the support. We put it a lot. He's a real nice guy. We also have Mr. Paco Steele, and he's doing the supporting. And he's taking advantage of the $10 tier, so he's getting the game with us a few times a month, a few times a week, whenever he's up for it. Also, Miss Cecilia Joyce Choi.
Joyce Choi.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's also supporting us on Patreon, and she's real great. She's just cute as a button, that one. She's fantastic. And then our newest Patreon supporter, Mr. Andrew Complin. Looks like Compaline, but it's not. Mr. Andrew Complin. So thank you, all of you, for the support. We really appreciate it a lot. And we're also sponsored.
Just say it.
Ryland Dollar is also now a supporter.
I think I totally missed that one.
Number 3 under the Patreon promos point.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Number 3, Ryland Aller. Does he just want us to say that he never doing a commercial?
Yeah, he never gave me a promo item, so we'll just go with Ryland as a real cool guy.
Ryland is awesome.
He plays a lot of that. Plays a lot of that Destiny that Ryland does, and he's real good at it. So
yeah, he's the resident Destiny expert.
Mm-hmm.
Over what did he say? Over 2,000 hours.
It was something like that. If you want to know, go ahead and go back to a couple episodes before, and we gave an interview with that guy.
Yeah. It was impressive. He knows his stuff about Destiny. So thank you, Ryland. Didn't realize that, but don't want to miss you. So now I can say that this episode is also sponsored, and it's real cool. We're sponsored by EastCoastCandleCo.com, the premier provider of hand-poured soy candles in the United States, and they're real cool, environmentally friendly. They're very, very inexpensive and easy to order. They have a beautiful website, EastCoastCandleCo.com, and they have great scents. If you're in the mood for something a little light and playful, maybe you can go for a lavender mint. Or if you're just homesick for the country, you could hit up a nice fresh apple candle. Or if you're not a morning person, maybe you could burn a fresh coffee candle to get you going in the morning. They've got sweet grapefruit, northern pine, tobacco and teakwood, bonfire, oak moss and amber, clothesline. They've also got a t-shirt that's real cool. So you should check them out. Chad's got one of their candles, and he loves it. It's his favorite thing he's ever bought on the internet.
Ever.
He told me that last week.
Yeah.
So you should hit them up, EastCoastCandleCo.com, and if you hit them up and you're like, man, these are so cool, I want all of them, you throw all those in your cart, and at checkout, if you enter the code SDGamer, they're going to give you 20% off your purchase.
This might be the last week for that offer, so you probably want to jump on that.
That's insane. 20% off your purchase. So hit them up, guys. EastCoastCandleCo.com. And we're also sponsored by one other thingy.
Yes, Sarah Complin Daycare. Andrew's wife runs a daycare center over in Flanders, South Dakota, which is real close to where I live here in Brookings. And last I checked, they had a few openings. So if you're in the Brookings, South Dakota area, and you have some little kids that need to be watched while you do things like work or go on a date maybe, I don't know. But whatever you got going and you need someone to watch your kids, Sarah Complin Daycare over in Flanders, South Dakota, you can check out their Facebook page and get in contact with her there to see what kind of openings they have. We appreciate the support from the Complins.
Yeah. This just in, my girlfriend almost ate a spider.
Oh, what? How do you almost?
And she totally kept it together. She's a trooper.
Huh.
Yeah. She was taking a drink in a straw, through a straw, and it had climbed in the straw. Totally went inside her mouth.
That's like Arachnophobia movie right there.
Yeah, she almost swallowed it, spit it out, and kept it together enough to stay quiet because I'm podcasting. Wow. I mean, that's She's a trooper.
That sounds like a topic that we could use on some other show someday.
Yeah.
That's what our Patreon subscribers do.
Yeah. So, just wanted everybody to know she's awesome. She
I also
totally had a spider in her mouth. Didn't make a sound.
I want everybody to know too. We have to put a disclaimer on this whole poopy dollar thing because if you want to,
I never specifically said.
But if you want to give us that poopy dollar, you're going to have to clean it off and take it to your local bank and deposit it.
I don't know. Do you really think banks require you to clean them?
No, they don't. I used to work at a bank. We used to get some nasty, nasty stuff.
You can't take a dollar that is encased in baby poop.
I mean, we never got one of those. I don't know.
Do you have any white powder on any dollars you got?
No, there was never any powder. We used to get money that smelled real, real bad, like human bad, like the bad parts of humans bad. We used to get like nasty, greasy, slimy coins, dollar bills, and with like weird stains on them. And
let me tell you what I don't like.
Stuff. It was.
Let me tell you what I don't like is going to my bank because I know, my bank of a country. I'm not going to name them, but
because they're not sponsored.
Bank at Guam.
They will convert foreign currency to American currency, only if it is paper, not coins, and that upsets me.
Huh.
Well, that's because I'll tell you why. They don't hand count any coins ever. They have this coin machine in the back that you pour the coins in, and like you got to sift them in, and it'll count all your change, and then like they use that as like they'll take a receipt out of it. It'll say how much you got, and then they'll give you like cash for it. And if any foreign currency goes through there because it's made out of different materials, there's a magnet in there that'll catch foreign currency, and it literally won't recognize foreign currency.
And it sets it on fire.
Then what do they do with that foreign currency?
I don't know. They may send it off somewhere. I don't know what they do with it.
And
I don't know
get money for it,
when I was at the
and
bank.
they keep it.
Probably, but
let me tell you what I'm going to do to beat the system. I've got like $5 of Canadian quarters, and every once in a while I'll go to McDonald's and I'll have a handful of quarters and I'll stick in a Canadian one, and I'll give it to them when I'll buy my cheeseburger, and they don't know the difference.
They're not going to notice it.
We get Canadian pennies and dimes sometimes at the Zesto too. It happens.
No, try to do that with
the top of the world over there.
Try to do that with a loonie or a toonie, and that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Stop speaking nonsense. Okay, let's move.
You live closer to Canada than any of us.
What was that?
Welcome to South Dakota Currency Podcast, where we talk about foreign currency and why it sucks.
This is a conversational podcast, and sometimes we just talk about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that happens. It's what makes it interesting and real, you know.
That's why we have Patreon subscribers.
Right. We don't work for any major video game outlet. We can talk about whatever we want to.
Right.
So, yeah. All right.
That's
that's right. So, speaking of something we want to talk about,
impressive.
New releases for May 10th of 2016.
It's going to be insane.
Dave is still talking.
Let's go.
He's dropping hints. So these are the new releases coming out for video game systems this week. There are only 5 of them.
I looked up the first one. I know we said we weren't going to because it's an expansion, but are you familiar with this game at all?
A little bit.
I texted Isaac and asked him about it, and he didn't know what I was talking about.
Some people, I would assume, have never heard of this, and the game itself is deranged and kind of funny, so I thought the expansion description is worth mentioning.
Okay, go for it.
So the first one we've got, it's an expansion for The Binding of Isaac, and it's called Afterbirth. Previously,
some people eat in other countries.
Stop it!
Some people eat it in this country.
Terrible. Just no.
It's healthy for you.
No, stop.
That's what they say.
Tell me about this game real quick.
Previous to this, I think they did an expansion called Rebirth. So I don't know
for sure. The comics.
I think I saw that. Yeah, totally affiliated. So this game though, it says, when Isaac's mother starts hearing the voice of God demanding a sacrifice be made to prove her faith, Isaac escapes to the basement facing droves of deranged enemies, lost brothers, his fears, and eventually his own mother.
How was Isaac not heard of this? It's about him.
So it's his life story.
Yeah, exactly.
The Binding of Isaac is a randomly generated action RPG shooter with heavy roguelike elements. And so Afterbirth is a massively updated expansion, 2014's roguelike of the year, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. There it is. Following Isaac one more time on his journey, players will find bizarre treasures that can change Isaac's form, giving him superhuman abilities and enabling him to fight off droves of mysterious creatures, discover secrets, and fight his way to safety.
Huh.
Dave is mummifying himself.
What the heck is going on? Did you take any cold medicine for your illnesses?
I took Mucinex.
Huh, that usually doesn't make you act weird. Okay, so that's The Binding of Isaac.
That's The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, yeah.
For the PS4.
For the PS4, yep.
You have the next one.
It's also
I have the next one. Go ahead.
It's also on Steam.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. The next one is the Magic Circle Gold Edition. What I found on the PlayStation blog, it says, the Magic Circle is our story-driven puzzler, recently nominated for the IGF for Excellence in Narrative, whichever that is. It's a dark comedy about a legendary game that has been stuck in development hell for 20 years, and only you can save it.
I heard about this.
If you still are patiently waiting for some sequel now, maybe it's a bit of a tragedy too. So it's about a game that is stuck in development hell, and you, as I don't know if you're part of the game or if you're part of the development team, has to figure out how to get to that game developed and finished.
Yeah, I heard this mentioned just recently. It sounds very meta. So it sounds like there are maybe times where you're in the game and times where you're like developing.
Outside it, it's you play the hero of an unfinished fantasy RPG, waiting for your story to begin, and you're getting sick of it. The fictional development team is a creative deadlock zipping around the game world, arguing about what to change. So you set out to make the game your own and release it from the inside, whether they like it or not.
That's great.
Clever. Very clever.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And then up next we've got Mega Tagmention Blanc plus Neptune versus Zombies.
Yeah, that's the title.
I don't know what any of those words mean, but I'm going to tell you what the story is. All right?
Yep, tell me.
Gam Academy, a learning facility located in a quiet town within Gam Industry. Are you getting the little punny things here?
I don't follow.
Like Game Academy.
Oh, game.
But it's like Gam Academy, located within Gam Industry, or Game Industry.
Yeah. Okay, I must be slow.
This historical academy is renowned for educating CPUs in the way of human life and culture. Despite its accolades, the school faced the threat of closure due to the world's population crisis. Against all odds, Blanc and a few brave students would stand and fight to save the academy. Their mission? To make a blockbuster movie. They hoped it would bring recognition to the academy along with new student applications, and so the students decided to make a zombie flick. It was an innocent choice. In a twist of fate, real zombies began appearing all over the academy. However, this wouldn't faze these brave F-A-Z-E, these brave girls. They turned the situation into an opportunity to create the best zombie movie anyone's ever seen. These fearless students would battle real zombies and begin shooting their greatest film ever.
Interesting.
So that sounds kind of meta too, actually.
Okay. All right, why don't we have Ishmael?
Yeah?
Tell us about the next two games.
The next two games?
Yeah.
I asked you if you wanted me to look a game up, and you said no.
These are easy. D&E. Look up this. Just talk about them.
Well,
Ishmael from the Phantom Pain.
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, is coming to PS4 right now. It's available.
It's out
now.
Chad's got it in his hands.
You could be playing this game, or you could be waiting for your free copy from the South Dakota Gamer Podcast.
Yeah.
How about them? How about them, Bones? How about that right there? How about that?
How about it?
It's getting hard to breathe in here.
I feel like
hot.
I'm on an episode of Family Guy.
Now, Uncharted 4 is, of course, about Nathan Drake, who is a Indiana Jones / Frank Castle. No, not Frank Castle. What's his name? What's his name from Castle? Nathan
Castle?
Fillion.
Nathan Fillion, yeah.
Nathan Fillion, to me, is like the modern day, real
Okay.
life Nathan Drake.
Okay.
Except he's an author.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, this game is really cool. You should check it out. Guess what, though, guys? I'm going to buy a PS4 this month. And I'm going to play this game at the end of this month, along with several other games. Anyways,
Hooray.
that game's available. Also coming out on May 13th. Some of it got in my mouth.
I can't imagine what that would be.
Doom for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. How many of you guys have played Doom? Out of the two of the people that actually can respond to me right now.
I have.
Like the original?
I played Doom.
Yeah, I've played the PC, like the original.
I haven't played any of those.
It's
I
good.
heard they're real good, though.
Yeah, they're real good. Real gory.
Much better than the Rock movie version adaptation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, thank you, Ishmael. I feel like we should be playing some of the soundtrack for Metal Gear Solid 5 every time Dave talks in the background.
That's a
Oh,
good idea.
I'm editing.
Right.
That would happen.
Can you hear me? Okay.
yeah, we hear you just fine.
Excellent.
You don't sound like Kiefer Sutherland, though, so.
Oh.
Okay, moving on. Into the news that you can use.
If you so choose.
So, there are a number of items on the news list this week. We're going to get right into them. Number I. So, first off, Nintendo stuff. We're going to keep with the Nintendo. We talked about Nintendo a little bit last week with Zelda and the NX. Some more rumors came out, which I'm sure we're going to continue to get lots of those.
Like almost right after we did our podcast, these came out.
Yeah. So the company that does a lot of production for video games and video game companies and consoles and things like that. And I forget exactly which company it was. But came out, I don't know how it came out, but basically came out that Nintendo has ordered a lot of these particular chips that are used in cartridges.
Ooh.
So the rumor, or speculation rather, is will Nintendo NX use cartridges instead of laser discs? Is that a possibility? Is that the reason for the ordering in these particular components, or is it just because they are manufacturing consoles and need these components?
Guys,
Yeah.
what if the NX can play any Nintendo console's game?
Ever. Backwards
Yes.
compatible all the way to the
NES, Super NES, and 64.
Oh no, that
GameCube.
That's
that's
interesting.
an interesting thought. But they wouldn't need to order chips for cartridges then.
No. But yeah, you were shaking your head, Josh. No, when I was saying that, I tend to probably lean that way as well. It's probably for the console. My only thought is maybe it's even a discless console. Maybe it's not. It's an all digital thing where there's no discs and or cartridges. But I just don't see any current company going back to cartridges.
What I'm thinking is, though, I just thought of this. It just came into my head. What if NX? What if they came? Can you imagine if Nintendo came out with this system, and they're like, "Look, we're going to change everything with this system. It's going to be a crazy, incredible system." What if the NX could play literally? What if they figured it out? Everything's backward compatible. Every Nintendo game is backwards compatible.
So then they don't need to make any new games ever.
They're
They're like, you have all of our games to play
They'll
now.
make new games.
But then they'd kill their virtual console, which they made a lot of money on.
What's their virtual console? It's on the Wii U, right?
It's on all of their, like, everything since the Wii. 3DS, like you can buy a bunch of games on the virtual console, basically backwards compatible, but they're old games, but you can buy them on the virtual console.
Oh. Well, I don't have any of those systems, so I didn't know. But it would be cool.
That would be cool.
Really cool.
Yep.
That would tempt me to get it.
I can't stop laughing every time Dave talks.
What if these
sorry,
chips-
audios.
What if these chips are for, like, instead of DLC, they do... I mean, they can still do DLC, but, like, almost like Toys to Life, or like the Amiibos, but these chips are for something like that, like something that you buy extra that plugs into the system, or something that does an extra
For
thing
like
for
if
whatever game
the
you're
rumor is true that this is a console at home that you can also take on the go as a handheld,
playing. Right.
maybe, I mean, they still use cartridges for 3DS, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like that to where you need those kind of chips in the takeaway part of it.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's for their console, not for cartridge games.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are saying.
We're not going to know until a long time from now.
A while.
Definitely not at E3.
Yeah. Nope. We talked about that last week. All right. Number next. Battlefield 1. You guys both watched that trailer, yes?
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Not all of it. So Battlefield is having their next game, which is coming out in October, and it is centered around World War I, and the title is Battlefield 1, the number 1. So, couple things. First of all, I really liked the trailer. Thought it was real cool. There was a Zeppelin in it. All right, I'm on board. Secondly, I was at the GameStop earlier tonight, and I was talking with a few people there, and one of the guys brought up the fact that it was poor marketing or poor naming to call it Battlefield 1, because if you're not, in deep with the video game world, you may think that this is a remake or this is a re-release of the first one that they made.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Not understand that. I think, I mean, whatever. They should have used the Roman numeral 1 instead to kind of signify World War I. But even that, still, to call it Battlefield 1 after you had Battlefield 4 and then Battlefield Hardline, and now we're going back to Battlefield 1. And then, Battlefield 2 is a lot of people's favorite Battlefield game.
Right.
3 did real well. 4 had some issues, but still sold a lot of copies and still is being played a lot today. To go back and call it Battlefield 1, I understand with the World War I, and in time, you're not Advanced Warfare, you're not even current, you're way back. But nitpicky, I know. But the trailer looked real cool. It was all cinematics, but
I don't think it's nitpicky. I think that's a legitimate concern. Because even knowing that this is a new game, when I first saw that, like, it gave me a second of pause, like, wait a second. And then I was like, oh, I get it.
Right.
But somebody that either is not super familiar or hasn't played Battlefield games, that's a weird choice. That's a really weird choice.
I'm excited for it, though. It looks pretty cool.
It looked awesome. The trailer looked awesome. And we talked about it before, but I was having a hard time wrapping my head around how they would pull off a World War I game, like, on this scale, because Battlefield is known for huge scale and, like, big destruction and all this stuff. Right. Yeah. And I was having a hard, like, because it's a lot of trench warfare. Like, you think World War I, you think trench warfare, but, like, they did a really good job of incorporating all of the different aspects of World War I combat.
Red Baron flying an airplane.
There's planes and zeppelins and tanks. Yeah. And it's not just, what we think of as the big World War I theaters of war. It's like all of the, like Africa and like all these other settings.
Yeah, with like those. Lawrence of Arabia stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool, man. It looks really good, and the destruction was like really large scale. It looked like destruction. So
yeah, I'm excited.
It looks good. It looks good.
So that got a lot of positive response. Something with a lot of negative response is that Infinite Warfare trailer. We talked about that last week, and it is the Infinite Warfare trailer on the YouTube is currently now one of the top 10 most thumbs down voted trailer on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think people are just a-holes.
there's an article from PC Gamer by Angus Morrison that I was looking at, and he said it's the most disliked gaming video on YouTube, an accolade equivalent to being the most poop-spattered chimp at the zoo. It's not like the rest are clean, however, this community drubbing seems to have unsettled Activision investors enough for Eric Hirschberg to look up from CEOing and make a statement. And his statement is this, quote, "First of all, you got to love the passion of gamers. This is an industry like no other and a fan base like no other. We love that our fans treat this franchise like their own and have such strong points of view about it. There just aren't many entertainment franchises on Earth that can generate the kind of passion that Call of Duty can, and that's a good thing. Secondly, of course, we know there are people in our community who are nostalgic for the boots-on-the-ground style gameplay. That's why we made Modern Warfare Remastered, but we also have millions of people in our community who want to have new, innovative experiences in the game each year, and Infinite Warfare is going to deliver that. The good news is this year we found a way to deliver both in one package while keeping our community together. While, of course, we see the passionate opinions online, we also look at other measurements, and the fact is, while it's very early, pre-orders are off to a very strong start. Views of the reveal trailer are up, and in fact, the numbers of likes per view on the Infinite Warfare trailer are the highest we've ever seen." So he's spinning a little bit, but I think he's right. The fact that they've built a franchise that people care this much about is impressive. And
Yeah, I think
it's got a lot of publicity.
Yeah, the whole downvote thing is just let's see how big we can get this number, not the people that are downvoting actually.
Right.
If everyone that downvoted is like, screw this, I'm not buying this game, baloney.
Yeah.
90% of those people are still buying it.
Yeah.
They're just doing it because let's see how many downvotes we can get.
I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't love the trailer. I thought it looks cool. Like it looks cool.
You know what? Yeah.
I would like to play it. I didn't love it. I absolutely 100% the thing I'm most excited about is Modern Warfare Remastered. But it's not like I'm gonna hate. I don't think I'm gonna hate Infinite Warfare.
Here's the thing with Infinite
I definitely
Warfare.
want to get this.
Infinity War has done Infinity War, man. See, this is so dumb.
There's so much happening.
This game this way. Infinity Ward has made some good games, and Ghosts, wasn't as well done. And I know Zempella and his buddy are no longer with Infinity Ward. That kind of created the Modern Warfare phenomenon. But watching that trailer again, and I've watched it a couple more times, if we can fly in space and have space battles like Star Wars Battlefront should have,
right?
Which it looks like that might be it. If it's not an on-rails thing like they did in Advanced Warfare.
That's a possibility, but
it is. But if we can have space battles, and what feels like, the more I watch it, feels like Mass Effect 3, going to other planets, landing on other planets, fighting on other planets. But if we have space battles, dude, this game is going to be really good.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
If
I remain optimistic. At this point, I'm definitely more excited about Modern Warfare, but
sure.
It looks cool.
I'm not excited about the price.
Yeah, gotta pay $80 for it this year. Well, you can still get the new one without buying Modern Warfare.
But everybody wants Modern Warfare,
obviously, and they aren't letting you buy that separately.
They will down the line.
Yeah, but it'll be a while.
It's going to be a while, and it's a smart move on their part.
It is.
They're going to get the money.
It's real smart. But yeah, you're right, Dave. I don't really want to spend $80 either, but I will.
And that 20, it's interesting because whether or not people like Infinity War. Geez, now I'm doing it.
How stupid are they? Anyway.
Infinite Warfare, whether or not people like their new game, they're going to be able to, 6-8 months after release, they're going to be able to point to strong sales numbers for this game because they forced people to buy it in order to get Modern Warfare.
You think it'll carry it that much?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think it would sell that well on its own?
No. Black Ops pre-orders and all-around sales were down from the last Call of Duty game, from Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare was the one right before that, right?
Yeah.
They were down.
Were they?
Black Ops. Yeah, Black Ops 3.
They were higher.
I thought they were down. I could be wrong. Maybe it was that they were not as high as they expected. Maybe that's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't think this game would sell super well on its own. But they'll be able to point to really strong sales numbers because they're making you buy it in order to get to Modern Warfare.
Sure.
And I think that's what a lot of people are going to buy this for. At least at first. It could be a great game, but...
Yeah. I mean, I look forward to it. I think it'll be fun. I like... There's not really been a Call of Duty game I didn't like, at least for the story and things like that, too. So,
yeah, it'll be cool to play for sure.
So, speaking of Star Wars battles that we should have had in Battlefront, Respawn, also speaking of founders of Infinity Ward, Vince Zampella, who went off to found Respawn and make Titanfall, that company has been given the go-ahead, I guess, given the tap on the shoulder from Disney to go ahead and make a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
So we're getting another Star Wars game from another developer. This is not the same game as Amy Hennig's game from Visceral.
Right.
They completely different.
This is good news. This is only good news.
This is really cool.
Yeah. And like this means that we could maybe be getting finally, depending on what Amy Hennig's game is, but we could be getting finally a grown-up Star Wars game, like we've been dying for. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. This should be cool.
Yeah.
All right, some more Star Wars is always a good thing in my opinion. Continuing on with the news, Fallout 4, that big game that I still need to go ahead and finish. The release date for their big expansion, the biggest landmass expansion they said they have ever done, Bethesda, Far Harbor, is coming out on May 19th for Xbox One first. I did not see the PlayStation release date or PC, but I did see the Xbox One is getting it May 19th. So you Xbox One owners are going to get that real soon.
Man, that's all right. I can wait. I got a few other things to keep me busy.
Yeah. Moving along, Pokemon Sun and Moon has been announced a while back. I think during a direct they talked about that being a new game. Supposedly on the 10th, we're supposed to get some news about it regarding probably a release date and maybe even some footage or pictures or something at least.
Am I the only one that's tired of companies giving release dates for release dates?
Yeah.
Stop freaking doing that. Just come out with your information when you're ready to do it.
Sure.
I don't understand it.
Well, they want people to be prepared for it and anticipate to where you can anticipate when it actually comes out.
I'm anticipating it.
Yeah, it's a lot of anticipation. Well, yeah.
Stop doing it.
May not be wrong.
It's annoying.
Okay, continuing on. Some more DLC. Witcher 3 is getting the big Blood and Wine expansion. This is like their next big story. It's supposed to be, again, another real big expansion. It is coming out on May 31st. So there's another real big game I haven't finished. I haven't finished. That is getting some DLC. So just more stuff for me to play.
More stuff to drown in.
Yes.
Good problem to have.
Yeah,
right.
I'm still not even close to finishing the core game.
Yeah, me neither. Every time I sit down and I'm like, oh, okay, I have some time to play something. What should I play? Oh, Witcher 3, I should put that in. Wait, I don't have 5 hours. I have like an hour. So I go, and I choose something else.
Man, it does take so long to play. Like, one of the things that turned me off to this game at first, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to like this. It's a completely different play style than I'm used to or that I usually like. Like, in most games, I can learn kind of the combat rhythm, and like you learn your skill set, like you learn how to play the game, how the controls work, and like you learn your way around the questing and all that stuff and whatever. Even if there's grinding involved, you learn kind of the rhythm of the game. And this game is completely different for me, at least, in that like you set off to go do a mission, and you may think that you're ready to do it, and then you're way underprepared to go do that mission. So it's not like you can be like, okay, well, let me upgrade my armor real quick, or let me do this real quick, and then go back to that mission. You got to freaking leave it alone, and go do anything else in the game, and like come back to it another time. And like I that grates on me a little bit. Like,
yeah,
if I know that I should be going and doing this thing, and then I can't do it, and I have to just leave it and not think about it and go do another thing. Or like even in the middle of a quest line, you'll get to a part of it that you can't do because your character's not strong enough, and then you have to leave it and go do other things.
How many hours did you put into this game?
I don't remember for sure. I'm at least a good 12 to 14, 15 hours in.
I'll say because I never really ran into anything like that, but I'm maybe 5 hours in. So
yeah, like that kind of gameplay. Like once I understood that that's how this game is to be played, I was enjoying myself playing it because there's literally like a million things to do in the game. So you're never short of other quests to do or other things to go discover. I just I tend to want to follow a quest line all the way through. Like if I'm doing it, I want to do it
finish that before you move on.
And you can't really count on doing that in that game.
Sure.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, you got more of that to come.
Woo!
Now, more release dates. Persona 5. Either of you into the Persona or played those?
I haven't played any of them.
I've never played them. They're on my radar. I think I would like.
I'm actually kind of a little surprised that you've never played them, Josh.
Yeah, they're definitely up my alley, and I've played games similar. There was the game on PSP. I don't remember what it was called, but it was very similar to the Persona games.
Yeah,
they're on my radar. I probably will check out.
Well, those that like Persona are super, super, super excited about Persona 5 coming out. And that has a release date of September 15th of this year for Japan. They have yet to give a North America release date, but it sounds like people are thinking that if it's September, it might be this winter, like November, December for the U.S.
If we're lucky, they'll tell us a date on which they'll tell us a date.
Possibly. You never know. That could happen. So Persona 5 for you Persona fans out there, I've heard it's something that people really like. So, I mean, it's just hearing some of the podcasts I listen to and people I kind of value their opinion have said a lot of good things about it. And so it makes me want to try it out, but we'll see. So there you go. And then finally, on the news that you can use, Josh, why don't you take this final one?
Yeah, so Frozen Byte is producing a new stealth game, and I thought it was worth talking about because it's pretty cool. It's called Shadwin, and it's described as a time-bending stealth game about an assassin and a little girl.
Can you give me some... Do you have any background on who Frozen Byte is? What else they've done that we may know?
Like Trine.
Okay.
A couple of the Trine games.
Is this one of the GameStop published games?
I was looking for that. I believe it is.
Because I'm pretty sure now that you say Trine that they were working with the developers of Trine.
Let's see.
Not to make you do all this on cue, but
I don't see it in my information here.
Okay.
I bet it is though.
Sounds familiar, but that
I don't see it in my information here.
Okay.
But it's launching on May 17th. It says the studio acknowledged that it's an unusually short time from reveal to release, but said it needed to get another game out fairly quickly after Trine 3 didn't do so well. I can attest to that. I played that game and it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't bad in my opinion, but it wasn't great.
Okay.
And that a lot of necessary groundwork had already been laid. There's a quote here from one of the people at the company. It says there were some initial designs and plans, of course, that had been done before the actual production started late last year, and we used a lot of the tech that took a long time to make for Trine 3. The rope and movement animations being the biggest and most obvious ones. So it was made in a rush, but we had a very focused plan, and the results is something we're very proud of that the team managed to pull off. So the lead character is an assassin, and its treatment of time, the game's treatment of time is weird in that it only passes when Shadwin is moving, your main character. Or when the past time key is held. So that means you can take all the time you want to consider your moves before making them. Like, it sort of sort of like a super hot type concept. And then execute them effectively. Releasing the movement key mid-jump will halt the action, for instance, so you can fire your grappling hook or plant your landing with a far more precision than a conventional action game would allow. It sounds pretty cool, and it's definitely like a different twist on some of the time power type things that people have tried with games before. So I thought it was worth mentioning. Frozen Byte's a smaller studio, but I like some of the indie stuff because they do cool stuff like this. It's innovative. So there's a free demo, I think, available on Steam, GOG, and the Humble Store right now. And then the actual game launches on May 17th.
Cool. Back to Black Ops 3. According to an article from Polygon, Black Ops 3 in the first weekend was way outpacing Advanced Warfare and Ghosts to be one of the best
Really?
Call of Duty games in recent history, yeah.
Totally wrong then. I could have sworn I saw an article that said it didn't do as well as they had hoped or something.
That might be the case, but it's still outdoing the last two. It did $550 million in the first weekend.
Huh.
So,
all right.
Anyway.
I was wrong.
Ops 3.
What did he just say?
I have no idea.
Blops 3.
Oh, Blops 3. Yes, that's what it's called. Okay, let's move. That's all for the news. Not a ton of stuff there, but some interesting points. So now we're going to move into some of the games that we have been playing. I'll go ahead and go first. So I didn't really get a chance to play a ton this last week. It was real nice here in South Dakota. 70s and 80s. Right. It's true. Sunny. Okay. Beautiful blue skies, no smog in the air, like you could breathe, and it was, breathable air.
It was a real nice day in South Dakota. My feet didn't stick to the ground when I walked outside.
Your feet did stick to the ground?
Yeah, because it's so cold all the time.
Oh, because of the ice.
Icy.
But you usually slip on ice.
Ice. Yeah, but when it's that cold, you don't even slip, you just stick.
Huh.
When it's that cold.
Well, that's North Dakota. That's probably why. So, anyway, I was real busy, didn't have a whole lot of time to play, and then we also had the free comic book day here this past Saturday, which was a real busy day over there at Uncanny Comics as well. So all I got to play was what I played today, actually. I didn't have to go to work till 4 o'clock today, which is real weird. But I put in that Destiny game. And I played
that game.
That game is still, that's a lot of fun. I wish there were more friends that I had that played it where I could have
playing with Isaac.
Well, I'm on the Xbox One, so yeah. Isaac did buy a PS4 this week. The Sometimes Isaac part of our podcast. He bought a PS4, so he may be returning with some PS4 knowledge here in the future.
Yeah, he said he needed to get some current gen gaming under his belt before we
would let him back on, basically.
Right. And
so, anyway, I played some Destiny. I played some Taken King stuff. That's really fun. The game is real good. There's a lot there to do, and I probably will play some more of that. I did try the Division. I did 2 daily missions, fairly simply by myself and hard. Huh?
I missed that game. It's been forever since I've been home.
I know, and after I did 2 missions by myself, I'm like, I don't want to keep doing this, so I stopped. And then I played a little bit of the Overwatch beta on the Xbox One as well. I played like 2 or 3.
Did you like
matches. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I liked the way it felt. It was way different than my experience with Battleborn.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I
think that's an apt comparison.
Yeah. So it moves real good. The shooting felt real well. But the only thing is there's so many heroes that it's a little overwhelming at first. I think there's 24 to choose from, and they all have different play styles. And when you play in a team, they really push you to play your character's skill,
right?
Whether it be attack or healing or defend. And I think there's one other one. To where they even break them down into those categories on the choose your hero screen.
Yeah.
And
the game will say there's no such and such, so
Right,
far.
right.
People are choosing characters.
So it looks fun. It would be obviously like any game. It's a lot more fun if you play with your friends.
Yeah.
I wonder playing with a bunch of randoms if you just have no cooperation, and that can be frustrating in a game that requires it. But I'm excited about it. I don't know that I'm going to purchase it day one, but it definitely moved up a couple notches in my list. So
Yeah.
that's all I've done. That's all I played this week.
So I also played the Overwatch beta. Not super extensively, but I will say in my experience, it seemed like people were pretty cooperative. I played, like I did the training, I did the online versus AI, and then I did like just the regular matches. I didn't do terribly, I should say. Like I caught on quicker than I thought I would, especially after having played Battleborn. I did not like that at all.
Yeah.
Which was surprising to me because coming from Gearbox and loving the Borderlands games, yeah. Like I really liked those games, and so I thought I'd like Battleborn a lot more than I did. But everything that Battleborn did wrong, I think Overwatch is doing right, at least so far. There's a tutorial that you have to play before like you play the other modes in the game, and so they start you off with one of the heroes, Soldier 76, and they teach you like this is how you fill your special skill meter. This is how you use your skills. Like basics like movement and shooting and things like that. And then like it'll run you through like a couple like battle simulations real quick. Like here's how to defend a thing. Here's how to attack a thing. And then even when you go online, like it's very accessible to see like what is this hero's skill set? Like how do I use them? Like before you choose your character, and then once you start playing the game, like the gameplay is rewarding in itself. Like it's fun, and like the graphics are real slick. They're not like I think Gearbox leaned a little too heavily into the cell shading and like that style of animation because it worked on the Borderlands games, and then they tried to transfer out like almost everything it seemed over to Battleborn. And the Overwatch graphics are like they're very slick and like reminded me almost of like Portal 2 or Mirror's Edge, like
Sure, I could see that
type graphics, like very slick. It's very colorful though. And then my favorite thing about it was when you finish a match, it'll show like somebody will have a play of the game, and it's like the most impressive like run or whatever that somebody had during the match. The first game I played, I got to play the game, which was cool. But like it'll show the play of the game, and then it'll have like the leaders from that match on your team, and you get to vote for like your favorite player from that match, and they get like extra experience points or something if they get the most votes.
And they kind of highlight what your best thing you did. Right. So if you had the most heals or the most shields or
the most objective kills or the most eliminations or whatever. Yeah. And so people vote for whoever they think was the best or whatever. It'll show who was the MVP. It's really cool. Like so, it's a very rewarding experience versus like Battleborn. It was always just like, okay, cool, you finished, go do this next thing. I don't know. It's like I've been trying to think of why I loved Overwatch so much more than I did Battleborn, and I don't know if I can put my finger on all of it, but I think that's at least some of it. But yeah, like you said, it's a really fun game, and I don't know if I would buy it day one, but I'm gonna keep my eye on it for sure. It was a lot of fun, and I think they extended it a day, so I might go back in. Yeah, I might go back in and play the beta a little more. I played some Rocket League, obviously, some tactics, still plugging away at that. Ryland was giving me some pointers on tactics.
That game, he has the most hours, and this is a guy that has 2,000 hours in Destiny. He has more hours into Final Fantasy Tactics than any other game he's ever played.
Yeah, which is crazy to me now that I'm remembering that he was the Destiny guy. Like, I've played Tactics a lot, but I don't think I've played it that much.
He was
crazy,
dying
yeah.
when he heard you talk about it last week. He was like, "Oh, I've got to talk to him about this."
Yeah. We were talking Tactics, and he actually gave me a few good ideas that I thought of. Better ways to grind for experience and
Cool.
like team setups and stuff like that. So that was cool. I actually jumped. Speaking of Gearbox and Borderlands, I jumped back into Borderlands the pre-sequel this week, and I was playing that a little bit. I never finished the game. I've only actually barely played it. So it's a lot of fun. It's way different than the other two games. Like the physics and gameplay is way different, but it's a lot of fun. And then because last week was May the 4th. I played Super Star Wars, which I had installed on my PlayStation already, and then Steam had a sale on Star Wars games, and the game that I've been dying to get and play again has been Rogue Squadron, and I did it. It was $5.
Cool.
Rogue Squadron 3D. I played through the first couple of missions. I think I got silvers.
Sweet emotion.
On them. So, man, there was a lot of so much nostalgia just came flooding back. Man, it's a lot of fun. So I'm definitely gonna put more time into that too.
Cool.
And then speaking of Ryland, many thanks to him. He had an extra Quantum Break key for the PC that he apparently was not going to use, and was gracious and kind enough to let me try it. And see if I'd be able to redeem it, and I was able to redeem it, and I installed it. I have not played any of it yet, but it is installed. It took a while, obviously, to download and install. So thank you, Ryland, very much for that. I appreciate it. So I haven't played it yet, but I intend to jump into it this week. I'm actually very excited to play it. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Dave, you've been traveling.
Yeah.
Played anything?
I have, and I wanted to look up something on it because for some reason I didn't know for sure if I was... Okay, never mind. It's just not an updated wiki. Yeah, I haven't been playing really anything because I've been on the road. So I've been on the road for 2 weeks. So I'm going to be on the road for over another week. Almost 4 weeks I'm going to be on the road, which is a big deal. It's crazy. So anyways.
It's a long time.
Yeah. So I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to jump on the Steam that Josh is always freaking out about.
Yeah.
And Chad too. And I started looking through the queue, and I came across Stardew Valley. I came across a couple. Got to Stardew Valley. I was like, man, you know, like I was watching the videos. I'm like, from what I've heard from Chad, I know that I could get like sucked into this. I don't have a controller that plugs into my Mac with me, so I'm like, I don't think I'd be able to like get into it like I would want to. So I'm gonna pass on that for now. Kept going over, and I found this weird little game called Factorio. It's developed by Wube Software, like WUBE, and it was released on February of this year. And so they have a demo you can play, and it's a very interesting game. It's actually a resource gathering game. I'm going to read a little bit off the wiki here. It's a resource gathering game with real-time strategy and survival elements, with influences from the Buildcraft and Industrial Craft mods for the Minecraft computer game. The player has to survive by finding and harvesting resources to build tools and machines, which can then create more advanced materials to allow for the creation of more sophisticated technologies. As further depth into the game is reached, the player may be building and managing an automated factory-style system which can mine, transport, process, and assemble resources. Players can research advanced technologies that allow them to create new structures and items, starting with basic automation and leading to drones and exoskeletons. So basically, you're like a spaceman who was sent to an alien planet ahead of colonists from Earth, and his crew are supposed to set up a base equipped with missile defense to defend the landing of all the Earth's colony ships, but not everything goes according to plan, and the spaceship crashes and you're the only survivor. So you have to start harvesting resources by hand in order to build up an industrial infrastructure and face inhabitants of the planet who defend their environment. So I played it for about 30 minutes before the podcast, and it's really interesting. It's extremely interesting. You're just this little guy. Right now you walk around with the A, D, W, and S keys, and you go around and you basically mine things, whether it's iron ore, wood, rock, copper ore. You can like mine stuff out of the water. It's like really interesting. And then you build like assembly lines. You can like build conveyor belts, and you can build mechanical arms. That like I'm in the very beginning stages, but if you go to Steam and you watch a video of it, you can see everything. Like it backs out. This guy's got it's like one of those time management things, kind of like what is it, RT? What's that game, Josh?
Tactics?
Like, no. The space game, like real time. No, real time space.
Oh, real.
Faster than light. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
FTL.
Yeah.
Where you have to like do all this stuff at the same time. Well, this is like a different. It's much more complicated than that, and it's a different game entirely. But you are like managing an entire ginormous infrastructure of factories and mechanical arms and ore, like smelting ore things and like pumping water out into boilers, and you have to set up power lines, and you have to set up turrets to fight against. You can build weapons, you can build ammo, you can build all kinds of weird stuff. I'm just in the demo of it.
I just looked it up on Steam. And like this is insane.
It's crazy.
It's giving me anxiety. Just like
things that I was reading. There were some times where it's like, okay, it gives you like tips, and like one of the things I read it and I'm like, I just read this and I literally have no idea what it's telling me. Like I had to read it again, and I forgot some of it, and it's like, gosh, there's so much to take in, but it's appealing to me in the sense that I want to like get a grasp of it and figure out how to do it. It just seems cool. It's one of those things, especially for me when I'm on the road.
Yeah,
not doing
it looks fun.
Very interesting little game. But other than that, that's all I played, other than mind games with my boss.
So, Dave, the people on YouTube are wondering if you're auditioning for a role in Scooby-Doo.
Who's seriously on YouTube at 1:31 a.m. Central Standard Time?
We have some commenters.
One might ask, who's in a bathroom at 1 a.m. wrapping their head in toilet paper?
I will say it was really hard to read all that stuff. It's hard to take deep breaths in this because I've got it triple layered around my face.
So why are you still doing this then?
I'm in character.
Yeah.
In character. Can't break character.
And what character is that exactly?
A crazy character.
Okay. Success. So
this is a promo for something.
Okay.
For something.
Right. But you gotta listen to like the next 2 episodes to find out what it is.
So those are the games that we've been playing. So that moves us right into Game Scoops. 20 questions.
Whoop whoop. Scoop. I'm in a hotel. Come on.
Be-do-be-do.
All right. What the heck? Scoop!
Nice. All right, so I didn't grab my pen. I usually keep track. There's a pen right there, but it's just out of reach.
Man.
My microphone, or my cord for this. Hold on. Okay, so guys, I am choosing the game this week. I've chosen. Give me 1 second.
I'm trying to pull it to you, Chad.
Okay, so I have a pen. And I have my paper. I'm ready for you to begin your questions.
Okay. Chad.
Yeah.
Was this game released prior to January 1st, the year of our Lord, 2000?
No.
Is this game was this game released in the 360 PS3 era?
Yes.
All right. Is this a...
Someone opening their mail? What's going on?
Oh, you can hear that. I've got beef jerky.
Beef jerky in the mail.
Is this a... That'd be a great item to get in the mail. Is this a first-party game? Nope, I don't want to ask that. Is this an exclusive game?
No, not exclusive. Before you ask another question, I want to look at something real quick in case you do ask. Never mind, I already found my answer. Okay, go ahead.
Is this game playable on current gen either through backwards compatibility or a definitive edition or whatever?
No.
Okay.
All right. Is this... I don't know what direction I want to go with this. Do you play as a human?
Yes. That was question 5.
Mm-hmm.
Is this part of a franchise?
Yes. Well, okay, let's do I always ask this question. What's franchise again? I always get confused. Franchise versus series. What's the difference between those two?
I don't think we've ever really made much difference as far as the way we play.
So they're kind of okay. So
I'd say a series are games that are directly related.
Okay.
Versus a franchise being like Siri thought I was talking to her.
Yeah. Like Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, or
Right.
Mario Brothers and Mario Paint.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Mario Tennis or Mario Golf or whatever.
Okay, so which one is that one? Mario Tennis versus Super Mario
That's
Brothers?
the franchise.
That's a franchise.
Okay, so
Of course, Metal Gear is a franchise too, but
Right.
those games are so they can be one and the same, but not necessarily.
okay. In this case, I'll just say would be more of a series in that aspect.
Okay.
So just so there's no confusion or whatever.
So it's a game that's relatively connected with another game,
Right.
at least one other one.
Right.
You play as a human. Do you shoot guns?
Yes.
Is it a first-person shooter?
No.
So over the shoulder or top down? Most likely. It could be side-scroller, but that would be for that genre or that era.
Is this shoot guns, but it's not first person?
I want to know like how long the series goes, but it could be. Well, I was going to say the Uncharted series, for example. The entire series was in the last gen until today. So if it's a franchise like that, like for example, Gears of War is all in that generation, the entire series. But some of them aren't. I don't know if that would help or not to figure that out. And also, I asked if this game was playable on current gen. I didn't ask if there is a game in the series on current gen.
Right.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll ask that one. Is there a game in this series that's playable on current gen, Chad?
No.
Okay.
All right, great.
Not Uncharted then. Not Gears of War. A human. Is this the first game in the series?
No. That was question 10. I'll give you a little for me, this series, I wasn't super familiar with the series until, like, when I looked at it, the whole thing, I didn't even know it was as big of a series as it is.
So don't
Get hung
focus
up
the
on that,
series.
right? Because I mean, you may be well familiar with it. I wasn't.
Is this an over-the-shoulder shooter?
Is that like third person?
Like third person, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
So it's not an exclusive.
Correct.
So that, I'm trying to think. And you do play as a human. Okay, what about like Max Payne or something? No, he would have known that was a prominent or that was a big series.
Yeah.
So
Hit me.
Alan
Well, no.
Wake is also a pretty well-known series. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Alan Wake, wasn't there games before Alan Wake?
Oh, not that I know of.
Well, then never mind.
I could be
because
wrong.
It's not the first game in this series either. Unless there is some unknown Alan Wake games, which I don't think there are.
There's not a Silent Hill game playable on current gen, right?
No, but that seems like another
unless you count
major series.
PT. That's true. There's Resident Evil.
Major series. I think it's going to be a game that kind of really stands alone on last gen, even though it was a series. Like maybe we might know, oh yeah, there were a few games before it, but for the most part, it's known for its 360 or PS3 or Wii version. So maybe it's something that was like resurrected. Like it wasn't
Devil May Cry.
Wasn't well known until that era. That was no pun intended.
No. There's Devil May Cry 4 DMC, or not 4, DMC. Devil May Cry DMC was on last gen. That's an over-the-shoulder. You do have guns.
Yeah, but was there any games prior to last gen?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Devil May Cry is
But the fact that
series.
Well, yeah, then that means that to me that means that that's probably not. Yeah.
Well, but that's not a series I don't think a ton of people would be familiar with.
I never even played any of those games, but I know about that series. I mean, I played a demo, but not an actual game. Crap. So what are we on? Are we on 11 or are we on 12?
12.
12.
Okay. I doubt. I mean, is it pretty much probably a given that it's not a licensed property? I mean, I guess not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be.
Does this take place on Earth?
Yes.
Are there any supernatural elements to this game? By that I mean like heaven, hell, demons, angels, magic.
No.
Anything like that.
Nope.
Do you?
It's like Ace Ventura.
Yeah. There he is.
Let's see. Is this primarily? No, that's not a good way to ask that question. Is this a single player game?
It has single player in it. I mean, yes, it's single player.
But also not.
Well,
Sorry. I'm sick. So it has single player. It's a single player game with multiplayer.
this is question 15.
There's been no aha moments. I'm rusty.
What do you know? You know it's a third-person shooter where you play as a human on Earth in the 360 PS3 era. There's no supernatural elements. It's a single-player game that also has multiplayer. It's not the first game in the series, but it's part of a series that may not be super well known, at least to the person that chose the game. And it's not exclusive. But you can't play it on this current gen at all. It's a third-person shooter, rather. Single player, 360, PS3, is part of a series not necessarily well known. Human on Earth.
Is it a cover-based shooter?
I'd have to remember exactly. It's not described as such. In the description of the game, it's not described as a cover-based shooter. So, I've played this game and I don't really remember that being an element of it. There may be cover, but not like a Gears of War type cover.
So you're basically running around shooting. You're going to be able to stand behind things, but there's no actual cover.
Again, I don't know for sure. There may be, you may be able to take cover. I just don't necessarily remember that, and it's not described as a cover-based shooter. But that may be an option still. Here, let me get a clarification. See if I can. Okay, players can hide behind cover, vault over obstacles. So there you go.
You can mantle. Can mantle, so it's like similar. It's not Uncharted. It's not a Lara Croft. It's not We didn't ask if it was male or female character. I mean, not that it's going to be Tomb Raider, but I don't know if I can. I can think of any games I need to differentiate between. So it's not like Lost Planet. It's not.
No. What about Would you consider Saints Row?
Saints Row is playable on current gen.
Is it?
Yeah.
I might call this game a little obscure, maybe. As far as the mass audience. It's like
Siphon Filter was not last gen.
No.
That was PS2 or PS1.
What about the...
That was also an exclusive, wasn't it?
Siphon Filter? Yeah, I think it was PlayStation exclusive. I'm trying to think of literally any other third.
What about
shooters.
No, never mind. It's definitely not Splinter Cell. That's too big of a series.
What about like
Also good.
it always reminded me of the Gears of War games. Army of Two.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Are you a human though?
Yeah, you're mercenaries. But that's
Are you on
cover
Earth?
based. Yeah. That's very cover based though.
What about the Mafia games?
I feel like that would be too big of a series. That's not obscure at all. Well, or it could be obscure to Chad. Chad knows about it. And, well, it's not playable now, but yeah, I don't think it would be Mafia. But these are all good thoughts because I'm not, for some reason, I wasn't even thinking of anyone. Was there another game like Mafia? Oh, it was The Godfather. That's definitely not obscure.
Third-person shooters.
Yeah, try to think of third-person shooters on last gen. I don't know that either of you played this. I don't.
What about
you not have, but
not that game Fuse? That was cover based, and I don't think it was a series.
I don't think I know anything about that one.
It might have only been an Xbox 360 game.
There's no supernatural elements. Is this the Sniper Elite games are third person? I don't think there's one on current gen.
There is one on current gen.
Is there? Dang it.
Yeah. What about crap? I just had it, and then I started thinking. Shoot. Oh, what's that called? I lost it. While I'm thinking, I thought of another game. I don't think it could be L.A. Noire. I don't know if there's anything before that.
I don't know of any other games in that series either. Okay.
Gosh, there was a game I was thinking of. Can't remember what it was now.
It's a series.
Yeah. Dang it.
Series. What question are we on?
16.
Crap, what's that? What were we thinking of right before Sniper Elite? We were ruling, I said Fuse. You didn't know what that was. Shooting. It's not Dead Space. That's playable current gen, backwards compatibility. That's what about? Do you remember Kane and Lynch?
I know of those games.
I think there's two of them.
I don't think I've ever played any of them. I have one in my Steam library, but I don't think I've played.
I've played both of them. But I think they were both last gen. Which that doesn't matter, but that's not going to go out. But
so do we want to
it was
ask
mainly
if it's
multiplayer.
like war related or like crime related?
I think, oh man, that makes me think of something I was going to ask you. Was Spec Ops: The Line? Was that a series? Spec Ops.
Spec Ops is a series. I don't know if it's third person or first person though.
Third person. There was a game called Spec Ops: The Line that I particularly know that Chad thought was cool, but I don't know if he finished it or whatever. Regardless, I remember him mentioning that game, and it was on last gen, and it was like really pretty. Like I think it took place in Dubai or something.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And it was a third person. shooter.
Chad, is this a Spec Ops game?
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Dude!
Yes. Chad,
Yeah.
does the man, I don't know if I'm wrong. I'm just going to go for it. Is the opening sequence of this game, does it take place in Dubai?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the opening sequence, but
Oh, that's good enough for me. It's got to be, and that is the name of it, Josh. Spec Ops: The Line.
Well, you do the honors.
I'm 90.
You had the moment.
I'm 97% positive that's what it's called.
Go for it.
Chad,
yeah,
is this game Spec Ops: The Line?
it sure is.
Wow.
Boom!
Bravo.
That was a good out of nowhere aha moment.
That was the game that I couldn't think of, and I lost it, and I got it back.
That's
Wow.
good.
Bravo.
I remember Chad like asking me if I had like seen it or if I had played it, because I think it does have. We did play some of that multiplayer, didn't we? Just for a little bit. I think
Maybe barely though.
Yeah, we didn't play very much, but I'm pretty sure we did. Like, isn't there a time where like you're like going over a bridge?
I can't remember.
Oh no, it's like buses are on their side. I know there's sand everywhere. I think you and me
Yeah.
played it a little bit.
There is a lot of sand. You can use the sand in a big sandstorm happened and you can literally shoot windows out where sand has piled up and cause sand to fall on your enemies. And
That's
kill
really
them.
cool.
And it doesn't have any supernatural things,
I'm good about that.
but the character you play starts to hallucinate and starts to like experience different things, and it's messed up. Like, it's a military shooter. The Troy Baker voices the main character, who's also the voice of Nathan Drake, and you kill a bunch of U.S. soldiers when you think you're shooting enemies, and you rain down napalm on them.
Oh, I remember.
You go walking through.
About that.
You go walking through after the fact, and when you think you're napalming the enemies, but then when you're finally done and you walk through where it happened, there's like melted bodies of U.S. soldiers and civilians, and you just wiped out like innocents, thinking that they were enemies, and your brain starts playing tricks. I would recommend, if you have a 360 or a PS3, to go play this game. Plug your 360 back in, plug your PS3 back in, go get this game. It's probably real cheap at GameStop or wherever, and give this game a chance, because, man, that was real good.
Josh,
that game was way off my radar.
I have to say, you jarred my memory back when you asked about it being military or whatever else.
That's a good question for shooters. $10, you can get it pre-owned. Go buy that game and play it. It's real good.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. There was a lot of uproar about the fact that like you are killing U.S. soldiers in particular.
Yep.
I remember, Chad. I remember it. The opening sequence is in a helicopter, and as you're going, you can like shoot the buildings like before you're even really into the game.
Yeah, you're right. I would go play that game again if I could. I totally would. That was fun.
Huh.
Good aha moment.
Yeah.
I was afraid you guys weren't going to get it there for a while, but Spec Ops, they have Spec Ops games. They were Windows games all the way back in 1998, and then they went to PlayStation. They had a Dreamcast version, PlayStation 2. Mm-hmm. This was the first one that was basically multi-platform. So it was on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. It was on OS. It was Linux, Windows. But yeah, they made a ton of games.
Way to know that was a series, Josh.
Huh?
Way to know that was a series. I don't know if I'm wording it right. Way to go, knowing that was a series.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
I remember playing Spec Ops games on my computer and my PS2. Back in the day. But yeah, way off my radar. That was well done, Dave.
Yep, that was good. That was a good game. I recommend it. So, all right. Well, that, as always, with Game Scoots 20 Questions, will wrap up this episode number 65. Thanks for listening. Congratulations to Paco. No, not Paco. Paco didn't win. Haha. I'm kidding. Sorry, Jake. 2%. To Jordan, 2% on winning the Uncharted 4. If you want to message us your address, I will get it in the mail tomorrow morning for you. And who knows? There may be some other little surprises in there from, I don't know, maybe Uncanny Comics.
What?
Maybe there'll be a hamburger in there from Zesto. You never know.
Gosh.
Nice.
It's just wrapped up in bubble wrap for you.
Yum.
They're real good, aren't they, Dave?
Yeah, I love them. I love Zesto.
Yeah.
I've had it like 3 times.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for this week. Thanks for listening, as always, and we look forward to next week's episode. Dave, you're still going to be traveling, yes?
Yeah, actually, next excuse me, next Tuesday, we are singing Tuesday night. Actually,
Okay.
Monday we are off again though.
Well, maybe we'll do a Monday next week again from the
Yes.
bathroom.
And then
Dave's
Wednesday,
going to show us another exciting bathroom.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
you need some other kind of headdress, though. You have to do something besides toilet paper this time.
Wednesday I start driving all the way back from Portland.
Fun.
Or no,
Portland?
yeah, Portland, because that's where they're flying out of, I guess.
Crap.
Yep.
All right. Well, for myself, Dave, and Josh, adios.
Bye.
Sweet. Yeah. I'm really sick. Piece of pizza.
Perfect. All right, YouTube.
Bye,
We'll see
YouTube.
you guys later. Thanks for tuning in and watching us and sticking with us. You're probably yelling Spec Ops: Lion at question 5 because you're all so smart.
Oh yeah, they're the best.
Thanks for watching.
They're
We'll
so
see you
good. They're
next
so good.
week.